Okay, so we're now back with our banner. We can zoom in a little using the arrow over here. If I drag that to the right, you can see that I can zoom in or make it smaller. So we'll just do it so that it fits the screen a bit nicer. Now if you look where I've put all of the graphics, at the moment they all look kind of flat, and we wanted to have a little bit more pop, a little bit more of a 3D shape. So if I click on the log, for example, and then go over to the selected layer here, double click, and it'll bring me up a layer style box, and the first one is drop shadow, and all I need to do for a very simple one is just tick the box, and suddenly this has a little bit of shadow and it has a little bit more pop. I can do the same with the leaf, double click, give it a drop shadow, and therefore you can see that's made a lot of difference right away. I can do that with some of the others, and you can go through with all of your graphics and do this. I especially want to do it with this banner in the middle, make that one stand out a little more. There we are, that's made a big difference. Oh, go on, let's spoil ourselves and go on and do some of these other ones. There we are. Now if you wanted to control the amount of shadow or the direction that it comes from, if you click here, then you can bring up this this box, and you can make your shadows bigger, for example, or smaller using these boxes just there. But I'm quite happy with the default effect, so I'm just going to leave mine as they are. Don't want them to go too overboard and make it look a little silly. Okay, so now we want to put a shop name in the center of this graphic, and over here in the box you have a T tool, and the T stands for text. So if I click on that one, now I also want to select my text color, and if I take my cursor over to the swatches, it becomes like a little dropper, and I'm going to pick on that nice bright orange there, and the box up here is now turned a bright orange, and this says this is going to be the text that we type. So I'm going to use my cursor to just draw a box where I want my text to be centered, and that's exactly over where my banner is. And shall we call this Autumn Designs? There we go. So that can be the name of our shop. If I use my down arrow, I can just center it where I want it, but again I want it to stand out a little, so I'll double click on its layer to bring up the properties, give it a drop shadow, and there we go. So that's pretty quick and simple way to do things, and whether you're using Photoshop or any other software like GIMP, for example, you want to get all of your graphics ready, open them in the program that you're going to use, decide what you want as your background and set that up first, and then all of the graphics that you want on top, you can just drag them in and layer them so that one is on top of the other. It's easy to drag things about, if you decide you want one thing on another side, or in Photoshop use the Control T, which will bring up your transform box, and you can make things larger or smaller or rotate them however you like. So assuming now that we're finished, all I need to do is File, Save As, and here for example I can save it in a Photoshop format, in which case it continues with all of its layers and I can go in and edit it later, or if I'm happy with my finished result I can save it as a JPEG. Pick my file size and resolution. I'm going to go with maximum because it's only a small graphic. Okay, and that's now ready for me to upload into my Etsy shop or to use as a banner for a website or a logo or something. And of course you can also make something in a different size if you want to use the same thing as a Facebook cover page. So I hope this has been useful. Do click down and have a look at the bottom and follow through to my website where you can find some of my newsletters and other blogging tips, or follow and subscribe to my channel, and I'll be happy to show you lots more information about how to make your blog look really good, and there'll be also lots of tips on how to add adverts and earn money from your blog. Thank you very much for watching.